Today, we're tackling a condition with a name that, well, it might throw you off a bit. Golfer's elbow. Okay, so let's unpack this one. Our mission is to really dig into the source material we've got. We want to figure out what golfer's elbow, or the medical term is medial epicondylitis, right?
Yeah.
What it actually is. We'll break down the causes, some symptoms that might actually surprise you, and who it really affects. Get those key insights for you.
Exactly. And the research, well, it points pretty clearly to golfer's elbow, that medial epicondylitis being mainly about inflammation, and also some degeneration, actually, of the tendons in your forearm flexor muscles. People often call these the gripping muscles,
Yeah.
the ones on the inside part of your forearm. They help you curl your wrist, make a fist. It's actually a group of disorders that affect these specific tendons, the ones moving the forearm and wrist.
Right, medial epicondylitis. That's
Yeah.
quite a term. Maybe for everyone listening, could we break that down a bit? What does that actually mean beyond just the golfer's elbow label?
Yeah, absolutely. So medial just means the inside of your arm, the side closest to your body, and the epicondyle, that's just a specific bony bump. It's on the lower part of your humerus. That's your upper arm bone. It's right where those flexor muscles, the gripping ones, attach. And cystitis, that suffix, it just means inflammation. So putting it together, it's literally inflammation right where those gripping muscles connect to the bone on the inside of your elbow.
Ah, okay. That definitely makes it clear. And like you hinted, it's not just an issue for people out on the golf course, is it? Because let's be honest, most of us aren't professional golfers. And here's where I found it gets really interesting. Even though it's named for golfers, it's super common in baseball players, tennis players, other racket sports, but then also stuff like gardening, bowling, even carpentry. That really opens it up, doesn't it? It feels like it affects a much wider group than the name suggests.
It absolutely does. And what's fascinating, I think, is how often these seemingly harmless daily activities or hobbies can actually lead to this. What we've gathered from the sources really points to overuse as a primary cause. Also, improper technique maybe when lifting, throwing, swinging, that sort of thing, and just not getting enough rest. Oh, and a really crucial point mentioned is about preparation, like not warming up properly before exercise. That significantly bumps up the risk of injury. It's kind of a wake-up call, isn't it? Even things we think are low impact, if done wrong or too much, they can cause real problems down the line.
So basically, just living our lives could put us at risk if we're not careful. That's something to think about regarding how we move and prepare. So, okay, with those causes overuse, bad technique, what are the actual signs? What should people be looking out for?
Few key things. Tenderness is a big one, right on the inside of the elbow, specifically around that medial epicondyle. We talked about that bony bit near what most people call the funny bone area. Stiffness is another common one, again, on the inside of the elbow. You might notice it more, say, first thing in the morning, or if your elbow's been still for a while. Now, here's something really, really interesting. Even though it's medial epicondylitis affecting the inside, also pain on the outside of the elbow, or pain felt over the outer part of the bone.
The outside, even though it's named for the inside, how does that work?
Well, it's not necessarily contradictory, but it shows the complexity, It could mean other things are going on too. Maybe something like tennis elbow, that's lateral epicondylitis, on the outside happening at the same time. Or the pain could be referred, coming from somewhere else. It really just highlights why getting a proper diagnosis is so critical. They often need comprehensive evaluations to figure out the full picture.
That is a fascinating wrinkle. Adds a whole layer I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
So, beyond that complexity, do the symptoms usually get worse over time? Why might they escalate if you don't address them?
Yes, they typically can. The symptoms tend to worsen gradually. The pain often becomes more intense, especially when you're gripping something. You might also notice some weakness in your wrist, often tied to that pain. As for why they worsen, it's usually this cycle of continued micro-trauma. If you don't rest it properly or fix this technique issue or address whatever the underlying cause is, the inflammation and that degeneration just keeps building up. And while, pinpointing the single cause isn't always straightforward immediately, that's why those comprehensive evaluations are done, to create a specific treatment plan, because understanding the whole situation is key.
Right, okay. Golfer's elbow. Clearly, not just for golfers. It's a pretty common overuse injury, affects loads of different activities, and has these specific signs like inner elbow pain, stiffness, grip weakness, and even those surprising pain patterns sometimes.
Exactly. And if you connect this to the bigger picture, sort of step back, Understanding these causes, like overuse and maybe poor technique, it means we're all better equipped to hopefully prevent these kinds of issues or at least address them sooner, whether you're actually on a golf course or just, working in your garden.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So the next time you hear one of these specific medical terms like golfer's elbow, you have to wonder what other conditions that sound really niche might actually have a much wider impact on our everyday lives. And maybe what small changes could we all make in our routines to potentially avoid them? Something to consider.